probably heard of famous church relics like the Shroud of Turin, the Crown of Thorns, the True Cross, but one you've probably not heard of is the Holy Prepuce, which is also known as the foreskin of little baby Jesus. And like most church relics, it popped up in the early medieval period. No one really knows if it's authentic, and there's a bunch of churches that claim to have the authentic one. For example, here is a smaller one that was actually sold not that long ago. In fact, there's quite a few people claim to have the actual foreskin of Jesus. And you might be wondering to yourself, why is anyone looking for the foreskin of little baby Jesus? Well, it's because of a non canonical text known as the Arabic Infancy Gospel that tells the story of how Jesus' foreskin was preserved. And if you think it's a weird story, buckle up, it's really weird. The story literally opens with baby Jesus in the cradle giving a speech to his mother right after he's born, saying that he is the Son of God. And it only gets better from there. Now, verse 5 tells you the meat of the story, pun intended, but I'll lead you up to that particular section. So, Mary and Joseph go into a cave in order to give birth. It seems like kind of an emergency situation, and they need somebody kind of act as a midwife. So, Joseph goes out of the cave while she's entering labor, finds an old Hebrew woman, brings her back to the cave, with the understanding that she was going to help and provide some level of guidance. Now, when they got back to the cave, Jesus was already born. It was some sort of a miraculous birth, kind of like Melchizedek's birth, if you've read that story. And the woman, as it turned out, had cerebral palsy. So she actually put her hands on baby Jesus and was healed of her palsy. And she was so impressed by this that she obviously knew the baby was special, pledged her entire life to following the baby around and servicing him. And so 8 days later, when he's getting circumcised, guess who's there? It's the old woman. And when he does get circumcised, she takes what is believed to be the foreskin. In fact, we'll pick it up from there. It says the old Hebrew woman took the piece of skin, but some say that she took the navel string and laid it passed in a jar of old oil of nard. Now, this is where it really gets interesting. She tells her son, who is a dealer of what is called in the story unguents, but essentially it's a jar of oil, nard oil, that is going to be saved as a preservative for Jesus' foreskin. Now, here's the crazy part. As it turns out, he's instructed not to sell this jar of oil, but you'll never guess whose hands it ends up in. It says, and this is a jar which Mary the sinner brought and poured upon the head and the feet of our Lord Jesus Christ. So, if you remember the story from Exodus chapter 4, where Moses' son has his foreskin forcibly removed by his mother, and then is touched to the feet of Moses, we have something similar here. Jesus' foreskin was removed when he was 8 days old, and then shortly before his crucifixion, this preserved foreskin in the jar of Mary's nard oil was poured out on Jesus' body, similar to the story of Exodus chapter 4. I don't know. That can only mean that obviously Exodus 4 was just a foreshadowing of what happened to Jesus and his foreskin. All that being said, there's a lot of churches right now that claim to have the authentic nard oil foreskin of little baby Jesus.
I ain't gonna lie. I've never heard that whole story before. I've only heard parts of it with the lady with the palsy in her hands, and she was automatically healed by the baby Jesus. Uh, but I never knew where the story came from. This was the first time I've heard it. And before anybody says something in the comments, that's as loud as the video was. I had nothing to do with the volume on his video, so get over that part. Now, if these churches actually claim that they have these relics that they claim that they have, and that the true cross has all these healing powers, why aren't they going around healing people in hospitals, healing people with cancers with these items? Would that not then bring more followers to this belief if it was true? Because they make those claims that when Helena found the true cross, that it held these healing powers, but no one has ever demonstrated it. And if this penis oil, I wanted to call it dick oil, but I ain't gonna do y'all like that. But if this penis oil has all these healing powers, was poured over the body of Jesus, and it was being able to, and they would have healed Jesus then, right? If these healing, if this penis oil got these healing powers, or this piece of dick skin got these healing powers, if you wanted people to believe it, if you wanted people to come over to this religion, because that's supposed to be your whole thing as a Christian through your great command, then why aren't y'all going around touching people with cancer with the dick skin? Why aren't y'all going and letting people who got palsy get touched by the dick skin? People got all kinds of terminal diseases. And y'all got the healing power of the dick skin or the dick skin oil, and you're not using it. I understand if it was just the oil can get used up after a certain amount of time. They ain't got enough oil. It's got to charge a heavy price for it. But the dick skin, touch, boom, power, heal. Touch, boom, power, heal. Even if you just went and did it to all the children, leave all the adults out. Just go do it to all the children who got cancer, who got terminal diseases. Go just heal all the kids with the dick skins. And then we would all believe. We would all believe. You have so many converts that the only people who don't convert over would be just the ones who they just determined not to convert over. But you would have me. I would convert over if you took the dick skin and went and touched all the kids in the ward with cancer, the ones who got immunodiseases that are dying. You went and touched all the children with the dick skins and healed them. You got me. You got me. I would disavow all 4,500 videos that I've made. I scrub the shit out of them and start over, proclaiming the glory of this God. That's all you got to do. That's all we ask for. All us agnostics and most atheists just ask for you to prove it through something that can be observed, something that can be measured. Now, that story, I'm going to go back and read it, go back and study it, because I think it's a funny ass story. I only have previously known about the infancy gospel of Thomas. I didn't know that there was the Arabic infancy gospel, but now I'm going to go read that one because I want to know about the dick skin healings. Because if we can get some dick skin healings going on, then we could change the world, and the world will be a better place because we got dick skin healing. That's better than a med bed. So y'all have a great day. Always remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.